Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? Welcome to this second web conference. This is the third web conference, English that's Word Level 7. Mm, Thank you to everyone who is going to watch this later. Okay, and today we are going to review the second learning content, contenido formativo. So let's go. My life has never been boring. As you see, this is the present perfect. So I'm going to show you the resources we have on the platform. So here you will find some information related to I have won the lottery twice, the lotto twice. This is past perfect. This is present perfect, sorry. So here you will find information related to the structure, how we build the present perfect, what is the auxiliary we use, what's the form of the main verb in with this structure, with the present perfect, how or, or when can we use the present perfect? In which situations? So here we have textual structure of anecdotes. Remember that in the last activity you are going to talk about uh, a story, something similar. And here we have some comparisons with adverbs and the exclamation phrases. So today we are going to focus on the present perfect. So please go to the platform and look for this information. I prepare, as always, I prepare a presentation for you. Have you ever, and as you see, this is the present perfect. Have you ever won the lotto? Have you ever been to London? So this is a structure we use to ask questions. Um, and we use it to refer to situations that maybe has happened once or twice, or maybe it's a situation that is an action or habit for you. But that means when I'm asked that question or someone asks me that question, that means in my whole life. Have you ever? Have you ever? ¿Alguna vez? So when we say have you ever, that means in your whole life. Siempre va a significar en toda tu vida. ¿Alguna vez en tu vida? ¿Cierto? O, ¿cierto? A lo largo de tu vida, have you ever? So, this is the title. So, we can use the present perfect to talk about experiences we have had in the past. But the difference between, we are going to look at that later on, the difference between the present perfect and the past simple is that when we talk about the specific actions in the past, we use the past simple. But if I want to relate, to narrate, and to relate to the past, but that past is related to the present, I better use the present perfect. So here we have some examples. Have you ever visited Russia? Have you ever visited Venezuela? Have you ever been to Mexico? Have you ever been abroad? ¿Alguna vez has visitado Rusia, México, ¿Has estado en México? Que fue lo que pregunté. Utilicé been, en este caso visited. Mm, ¿Has visitado Venezuela? ¿Has estado por fuera del país? So, if I want to say yes or no, remember that in English we use the short question, the short answer, the yes no question. Remember? So we answer yes or no, but we use the auxiliary. So if I want to answer this question, in my case, it would be no, I haven't. I haven't. This is the short answer. Have you ever visited Russia? No, I haven't. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I had the opportunity like 10 years ago. Mm. So here we have um, an answer. Yes, I had visited Russia. I went free. I went there last summer for 2 weeks. I visited different interesting places. And if you see, I'm using the present perfect, but also I am using the past simple form. I went, I visited, I had visited Russia. Can you see the difference? Okay, so let's continue. See, here we have unfinished actions that started in the past and continue to the present or with a non-specific time. So this is a use. These are uses of the present perfect. As I told you, we use the present perfect when we want to relate to the present. El presente perfecto en inglés, let me change and speaking in Spanish uh, for a while. Um, Aunque el tiempo se llama presente perfecto, en realidad lo utilizamos para hablar de experiencias en el pasado. La diferencia con los tiempos pasados es que yo lo uso para relacionarlo con el momento presente. Entonces, como en la pregunta, ¿have you ever? ¿Cierto? ¿Alguna vez? Entonces, cuando yo digo alguna vez, ¿has visitado el océano? ¿Conoces el océano? No, aún no. Pero no es no es un no de que nunca ha sido. O sea, no es un no de que nunca más en la vida. Porque puede ser que este año lo visite, ¿sí? Conozca el mar. O, por ejemplo, ir a Europa. No, no he tenido la oportunidad de conocer ni pisar suelo europeo ni asiático, pero estoy hablando desde este momento presente hacia atrás toda mi vida. So, let's continue in English. Even though the name of the time, the tense is present perfect, we use the present perfect to talk about past experiences. But as I told you like 4 times so far, that past experience is related to the present because expressions like have you ever means or that so far in my life from the moment I was born until now But maybe if I haven't done those activities yet, I can do them in the near future, or maybe just in the future, sometime in my life, because I'm still alive. So here we have uh, two cases in which we can use the present perfect. Uh, as I'm saying, we use the present perfect to talk about the past, but we can relate that past to another specific past. And then I use the present perfect. But if I want to be specific about the past experience, I need to use the past simple or the past perfect, right? So here we have unfinished actions, something I started before and I am still doing, not right now, but I'm doing it. Like, for instance, I had visited the ocean many times in my life because I love the ocean. And that could be, let's say, an unfinished action um, because it's something I will do, I will keep doing, right? So here we have an example. Um, for instance, I have I have known Julie for 10 years. Yo la conozco. Yo la conozco. I know Julie for 10 years and I still know her. We also have here a finish action in someone's life when the person is still alive, life experience. So, for instance, my brother has been to Mexico 3 times. He's going to Mexico next month again, right? You see? Let's continue. Here we have a finished action with a result in the present. In this case, I can say, I have lost my keys. I have lost my keys. The result is that I can't get into my house now because I don't have my keys with me. Another case with an unfinished time word this week, this month, today. Remember that every past tense, every verb tense, every present tense, we have like a group of words related to that time. So in this case, with the present perfect, we can use this week, this month, today, and that is referring to the present too. I've seen John this week. I've seen John this week. I've seen John this morning. It is better to say, I saw John this morning. But we can use both. Remember the difference, the main difference between the Spaniards and Spain and Latinos, la diferencia fundamental entre los españoles, ¿no? But if I say Spanish people from Spain and we Latinos, is that we use more often the past simple and they use the present perfect. Entonces, dejé el cuaderno en tu casa. Mm, Creo que he dejado el cuaderno en tu casa. Prefieren usar en vez del pasado simple, utilizan el presente perfecto. ¿Se han dado cuenta de eso? Por ejemplo, en las películas dobladas, así hablan los españoles, ¿cierto? Los de Península, España. Y nosotros preferimos el pasado simple. Lo mismo pasa en inglés. It is similar in English. There is a big difference between Spanish people from Spain and also Spanish people, but from Latino America, Latinos. And that is that they use the present perfect. They prefer to use the present perfect to talk about past experiences. And we use the simple past. And it is similar with English too, because we find that difference between British people and American people. For instance, Americans, they use the simple past, and British people, they use the present perfect to talk about the past experiences. So here in this last example, we have I seen John this week. So here Latinos, we prefer to use past simple. I saw John this morning. I saw John this week. I've seen John this week. But if I say I've seen John this week twice, if I use twice, so it is better to use the present perfect. Lo he visto dos veces. Lo vi dos veces, lo he visto dos veces. Can you see the difference? We don't usually we use but. They are exchangeable. Like we can use sometimes one or the other. Uh, I saw John twice this week, or I've seen John this week twice, or twice this week. It is better to put twice here in this place. But I can use but, like there is not a big difference. But there is, like very tiny little difference. Lo vi dos veces, lo he visto dos veces. The difference, if you see the past simple, it is like it's finished. I won't see it anymore this week. And if I say I've seen John twice this week, it means it is an open possibility for seeing John again. Do you see the difference now? Si ven es pequeñita esa diferencia, muy pequeña. And sorry because I'm trying to explain also this in Spanish for you to understand those little tiny differences. Let's continue. Here we have past simple. So remember that you already know that. We saw this in level 3. Here with the Sena English courses. Here we have finished actions, a past action with a specific time. So, um, for instance, in this case, I can say I saw Julie for 10 years, but then she moved away and we lost touch. A finished action in someone's life when the person is dead. My great-grandmother went to Mexico 3 times. So I'm using the past because it is not possible for her to travel again because she's dead. But if my great grandmother is still alive, I would better use the present perfect. Like my great grandmother has been to Mexico 3 times so far in her life. You see the difference? Bueno, yo creo que acá sí empezamos a ver diferencias, a entenderlas. Mhm. A finished action with no result in the present. So I lost my kiss yesterday. It was terrible. Now there is no result. I got new kiss yesterday. You see? With a finished time word, last week, last month, yesterday, I saw John last week. It's finished. Last week is finished. I saw John last week. There is now more possibilities for me seeing John again last week because now we are in the present week. That's why we use past simple. Here we have uh, uh, a chart. In this chart, you find the present perfect and the past perfect. So let's see. For instance, experience in general. Imagine that your memory is a big bag into which you put everything that happens to you. This tense is used to say that something is or is not in your bag. I have been to parties. This is the present perfect. So this is a good explanation for everything I've been trying to say so far. And here we have the past simple, one specific event. You give details about a specific event in your life. Have you ever been to Paris? Yes, I have. I bought this bag there. It was really cheap. So here, this is the present perfect, but then I explain my experience there. Then I use the simple past. And here we have some exercises for you. So what you need to choose here, you have to put the verb and the conjugate you need to conjugate the verb, but you need to choose if the present perfect or the past simple. So remember, we have some words that will help us decide if we can use the past simple or the present perfect. So for instance, last night, and the verb is lose my keys. I had to call my flatmate to let me in. Which one do you prefer? The past simple or the present perfect? I'm going to give you a minute before answering. Which one? Okay, good. I think you got it. It is better to use the past simple because that was last night. So you're talking about a specific time. And then you could enter your house because you decided to call your flatmate. So it is better to use the past simple in the first one. Let's continue. What about number two? So again, we have a similar example. We need to use the same verb, lose my keys. Can you help me look for them? So I'm going to give you 1 minute again. That's right. It is better to use the present perfect in this case because you are looking for the keys. So that action is affecting now, the present moment, and you're looking for them. So it is better to use the present perfect in this case. I have lost my keys. Can you help me look for them? Las he perdido. Ayúdame. Mm, Okay, let's say number three. In this case, it's another example. It's a different verb. It's a different situation. So here you need to conjugate the verb visit, and we have visit Paris 3 times. So which one do you prefer? Past simple or present perfect? Again, I'm going to give you some seconds. Good, very good. In this case, we use the present perfect. I had visited Paris 3 times. Why? Because I am still alive. So maybe I will visit Paris again in the future. Okay, let's continue with number four. Last year, same verb, visit Paris. So in this case, is the same situation, but we have last year. We're talking about last year. Last year is finished. So it is a finished action. You need to use the past simple. Last year, I visited Paris. Let's continue. Number five, and the verb in this case is know my great grandmother for a few years. She died when I was 8. So in this case, again, it is better to use the past simple. I knew my great grandmother for a few years. She died when I was 8. Because I am an adult now, and she's dead since then. Okay. Uh, Next one. In this case, we can use the present perfect. In Spanish, we don't use that for this specific situation. Yo he conocido a Julie por 3 años. Suena rarísimo, ¿cierto? La conozco. No dice la conozco. We prefer to use the present. I know Julie for 3 years. But in English, in this case, we can use the present perfect. In this case, because it is you're seeing Julie, you know her, and you both are still friends. You see each other often, or maybe once in a while, but you are still in touch. So we use in this case here the present perfect. I have known Julie for 3 years. We'll still meet once a month. Okay, guys, I think we need to finish here because in 10 minutes we have the next video conference. Try to do the other activities. Here we have two more situations, one with play and one with myths. And again, you will find one situation for the present perfect and the other situation for the past simple. And this is for you to understand how to use them while you are narrating past experiences. Okay, a wonderful day for you, a wonderful week too, because we started now the video conference now on Tuesdays. Okay, see you then in the next web conference. Wonderful week. Bye. Thank you.